Hey guys, it's Ashley and Ricky with the Reality Receipts podcast, and today we are talking to Zach Wickham from the Valley. We are so honored that he is going to have a little chat with us. He's been a much needed light little break from the darkness of the Valley this season. He's been keeping us entertained. We're loving him. But before we get into the Valley, we did want to ask, we were going to ask, have you visited Canada with your boyfriend Benji? But we did just hear that you are there for your first visit right now. So how are you liking Canada so far?
First visit ever. I mean, right off the bat, you guys are the airport was amazing. You guys are just the most friendly people. So yeah, so right off the bat, Canada's an A plus.
Yes. And apparently it's really hot in Toronto right now. We're on the other coast. We're in the Vancouver area of Toronto. So it's like cold and rainy here, but it's a little toasty over there today.
That's the thing. Everybody's like, why did you move to LA when you don't like hot weather? And I'm constantly like, I don't know. But I definitely wish I had girls weather right now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a Valley girl, Zach. I don't know if you know that. Like, I'm a Valley girl. I live in the Valley. So a lot of the places that I see on the show, it's like really exciting because I'm like, oh, that's down the street, you know? So I'm here suffering in like, I think it's like 90 degrees out here.
I was like, well, then you and I are in, I feel like I went from the Valley to the Valley again, but just Canada.
I know we're the best of both because I'm Canada, she's the Valley, so we're like we're like the same combo as you and Benji. We're a little Canadian with a little LA sprinkled in. So
I love that.
Yes.
So speaking of the Valley, I think the most iconic moment this season so far was that moment in the kitchen where you went off on Jax. I laughed for like 5 minutes straight. Can you tell us more about that moment? Because I know there's so much more that we missed, but like just put us in the room with you because it was so funny.
Yeah.
Well, let me put it this way. This would have happened a lot sooner had he not gone away for 30 days. So this was like a long time coming. I do feel like Jax avoids me or will use me as kind of the scapegoat. Like he'll say, oh, Zach's such a bad person or this or that, because he knows that I will always hold him accountable. So I don't know why he thought, oh, coming to his party, I don't know why he thought that I wouldn't confront him like that, because he had to have known. You know what I mean? Yeah. Going into that, I kept telling myself, as you've seen throughout both seasons, I might or might not have a problem staying calm.
We love that.
And I just kept reminding myself, you've got to stay calm. You get to your points. You can do this. Because like I didn't want him to be able to get out of this. And I think during the conversation, though, I kind of almost like blacked out because I was just like in the zone. I was just like ready, and I wasn't about to let him get away.
No, you can't go to his bar, Zach.
Yeah, you were so calm the way. I know. I loved how he said you couldn't go to the bar, and you're like, well, ask your partners. Like, I love that you called him on the fact that like he's not really an owner of the bar. You know, like it's not even his money that was put in the bar. You like said everything that all of us have been thinking this whole time about this bar. So yeah, you delivered it perfectly, got all the points across, and I feel like you were really speaking for us viewers in that moment of like, can somebody please just check this man? And we really thank you for doing that. So.
The thing that surprises me the most watching it back is when all the boys except for me and Luke, and again, what's crazy is me and Luke would have had Danny's back, and of course we're not invited to that dinner. And when they're all sitting there and then they all turn on Danny immediately, and I thought, wait a second, or we're just glossing over everything. We're not going to hold him accountable for anything, meaning Jax.
Yeah.
What's going on? And to see it play back where, you know, Jason will just agree or think that he's changed. I'm like, then Jason, you don't know him, because you really don't know him, because he has not changed and nothing's changing. And I thought more the guys, Jesse does hold him accountable when he can, but I think he could go so much further. And I think he does now than when he did in that moment. But at least he tries to be somewhat being like, hey, that's not true, you know, blah, blah, blah. But none of the other guys will do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That dinner did seem to immediately go to like attacking Danny when it's like, okay, I think Jax is the one that needs to be talked about here. So it was great that you finally got that opportunity to say the things that like Jason and other people seem to, I don't know if they're scared to say it. Yeah, they just won't confront him. So
I don't know, like, you know, some people are like, what does Jax have on Jason that he won't confront him? I don't even think it's that. I think that he's scared, or they think that, you know, Jax is, I don't know, the queen bee or something, and like you can't, like you get on his bad side, then you can't. I don't know what they think the consequence is,
Right.
But for me, you're never going to have that behavior and not, you know, have some ramifications that like I'm gonna tell you how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when he said, like, it's his show, and you said, not for the last 30 days, like, you guys were fine without him. So he seems like pulled that over.
Yeah, it was like a mic drop. Like, he had nothing to say. All he could do was walk away. And I think, to your point, like, maybe they think, like, oh, if we hold him accountable, like, maybe we won't be on the show, or maybe, you know what I mean? So it's like, there was a perfect way to, like, bruise that ego. Like, oh, well, for 30 days, it wasn't, you weren't here, and we were just fine. He was like, I'm leaving. I'm out of here.
I've never actually, so Jax and I've known each other since he's been dating Britney. I've known him literally the entire time. I've been there the entire time they filmed Vanderpump. I've been through the ups and the downs. I've been there when Jax has changed, and he did, like, he would do something bad and then actually change. Kristen and I we've seen him do that. And we know when he's taking the actions to be a better person. And this time it is not that at all. So I've seen both sides. So I feel like for myself, I know when there's a change because I've been there. So maybe these other people just haven't been there and are under the Jax spell, but I'm not under it.
Yeah, because we did see you obviously all throughout Vanderpump Rules. You were there by Britney's side, and you were there at the wedding. So was there a moment like at the wedding where you thought maybe this wasn't something Britney should do? Or is that the time where you're speaking about where he had changed and you did see that this could be a good thing?
Yeah, no, before the wedding, leading up to the proposal and then the wedding, he had changed. There was when unfortunately, he had lost his father, or he was about to, and then his father passed, which was super, super sad. And there was a significant change in him. He was, or at least seemed for a very long time, a different person. And I think he really tried. And that Jax, I wish we could get back. But unfortunately, soon after the wedding, the behavior started a little bit, and then it escalated over the past 3 years, and it's just been not great.
It gets worse.
Chaos. So the reunion has been filmed. And so what can we expect to see at the reunion, and what are you like hoping gets resolved, or what does get resolved? What can you tell us about the reunion?
Well, what I can tell you about the reunion is, because of Kristen and Nia, which it's not their fault, I guess, but it is.
Plan better.
I'm not bitter or anything, but no, I'm just kidding. But we had to shoot it a little bit earlier than we would have normally. And for myself, like, I feel like it was there was so much, and we watched so much, and I don't know if I got everything out I wanted to get out, but it's still one hell of a reunion. And it's going to be crazy and chaotic. And, but the problem is maybe some of the resolutions that you think happened during the reunion don't stay resolved very long.
So things have devolved since then.
Well, we didn't see the after show. So all of a sudden we see the after show, and then it's the exact opposite of what people said on the thing. And then this, and we were like, yeah, it's been a little chaotic with how that has all transpired. But I mean, you know, for some of us, we spoke the same there that we spoke you know, at the reunion. Me, Kristen, etc. And then some other people, it was kind of opposite from, and we hadn't heard some of these opinions. So I think that has thrown some wrenches. But you know what? I guess when we get picked up for season 3, we'll hit the ground running.
Yeah. So obviously you have seen the rest of season 2. So we saw you guys are heading to Hawaii. Is there any moment specifically that you're looking forward to the viewers seeing that you can't wait for, or just like the whole thing basically in general?
I mean, definitely the whole thing, but you get to see the proposal for Kristen, and it's literally the most special, beautiful thing. And the fact that Luke actually pulled off a surprise it took all of us, well, not that many people knew, but it took a lot, like, it was hard and it was coordinated, and to see it be pulled off and to see Kristen be so surprised and so happy, it was amazing. And I cried at the episode, they cried at the episode when we watched it back. So I'm really excited for everybody to see that.
Yeah, I think that will be such a nice, like, happy moment for everybody to see, because everyone has followed Kristen's journey for so long from the start of Vanderpump Rules. So we're so happy to see her.
He's just the best. And what's crazy is he's grown so much even since they started dating into this like amazing person. I mean, he was always great, but even like he's grown even as a person, and it's just like so beautiful to see them together. And Luke and I are best friends, and it's just like, it makes our co-parenting situation easier. He knows like I'm the third in the relationship at all times. So, but he knew that from the beginning, so there was never any question.
Yeah, we're so happy that Kristen's getting her new beginning. But speaking of new beginnings, have you met Brit's new man? We heard she got a new man.
I met him. Listen, no matter who it is, like if it's Kristen or if it's Britney or whoever, I'm meeting the person first. I'm knowing, you know, like when Kristen's baby came home, I was there. I'm the first to meet, like, you know, I'm there for the big stuff. And I met Britney's guy first, and he is quite an amazing guy. You know, I think they're taking it slow just because of the way the world is, and you know, but no, he's an amazing guy and an amazing artist.
Will we see him on the show?
That's
TBD.
You know? I don't think I even know that. Yeah, but well,
I can imagine that's a lot for anyone to like join into Britney's world. So we totally get why she's taking it slow. But yeah, we did creep him a little on Instagram. He's a very attractive man and very talented. So we are so happy for her, because that just seems like such a good upgrade for her. So she deserves it for sure.
For sure. She deserves the world. Like, the things she's endured. Yeah, she
just needs a
I was like,
Oh, speaking of Kristen, we did see the other night when Jax and Schwartz were on Watch What Happens Live, she popped onto your Twitter to put out a message about keeping her name out of their mouth. So were you guys having like a little, I don't want to say watch party, because there's probably nothing fun about watching that.
Necessary, because we knew he could say something. So we wanted to make sure that he didn't say anything that was out of pocket or whatever. And of course he like immediately says something about Kristen that is so wildly out of left field, and Kristen doesn't have Twitter anymore. So she was like, let me see your Twitter. So I gave it to her, and then he tweeted. But yeah, so we were, let's just say we were on patrol to make sure we were policing that.
Love it. He needs that. So it's good that you guys are keeping him in check. So
exactly.
It's so funny to see like what is going on the show, and then what's happening like currently live. It's almost like, do you not know that you're like, we can see you, like you're being recorded, sir? It's just like the difference of like, oh yeah, like I'm just so healed, and then it's like, you took my son. Like it's just so crazy. Like we can see you, sir.
But exactly, you see it. And the thing is, like during his Watch What Happens Live, Andy said the one thing that, why didn't you move out of the house instead of making Britney and Cruz move out of the house? Mm-hmm. And he says, no, she moved out without me knowing and, didn't allow me. And even Andy tries to be like, wait a second, that's not. And then he like cuts him off and is like, no, that's what happened. And on Watch What Happens Live, it's very fast. So he can't, Andy can't go back again. He just has to let it go and move on. Mm-hmm. But as you'll see during the reunion as well, just prepare. Like, there's a lot of lies, but every step of the way, we, try to stamp out those lies. But even on Britney did on her podcast with me the other day, we cleared that up because that's one thing. It's like you can't say like there was a blatant lie. Like she gave you multiple opportunities and said, this is not working. We need to separate. Either you have to leave or I have to leave. And he verbatim said to her, this is my house. I'm not leaving. Right. And so he gave her no choice. She tried for at least 2 to 3 months prior to facilitate something. And even once she moved out, she offered for him to move into the Airbnbs that she had paid for. Yeah. So that she could be at the house, and he refused every step of the way. That's why that's such like a big deal. And that's why him signing that lease was such a big deal, because he knew that she had to pay 3 months up front for that Airbnb. So he should have just stayed in the house saved some money, done it the right way. He never does anything as a team. It's always my wife, my child, my way. It's never our let's or giving them autonomy like Britney and Cruz. Yeah. It's always like mine. So
yes. Or when he said, like, as a woman, she doesn't need this house. Like, we still don't know what that was all about. Like, what does that mean?
My blood went through. I was like, because, until I watch it back, I don't know that he had that conversation. Just hearing him say that, I was like, this man is delusional. This is crazy. Like, I feel crazy.
Yeah. As a viewer, it was really crazy seeing, like, learning a lot of the things about their divorce and like how she had to pay like off his taxes. Like, these are things that we don't know as viewers. So it's surprising to say, okay, well, dang, this girl was going through a lot, but enough about Jax. Okay. enough about him. I think.
No,
let's get back to you, because actually a lot of things, something that I didn't know is that you were Nicole Scherzinger's assistant from the Pussycat Dolls, which we love her. So what was your favorite part about that job? And can you give us like any tea about that job? About being her assistant?
Yeah. So Nicole, I've actually known Nicole since I was a kid. Her little sister and I were best friends growing up. So I've actually known her way before I was ever in LA. And then when I moved here, I just started doing some odd jobs for her, helping her out. And then she needed a full-time assistant, and that's how I fell into it. And then I started working, and I worked on and off for her for 7 years.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It was on and off all the time because I would like find a new job or do a new thing, and then she, so it was just back and forth a lot. But I would definitely say like a few of my favorite things are, like Nicole is the most amazing singer there is. So we would just be like singing all the time. And so like just getting to have like karaoke nights all the time and getting to hear basically private concerts, like who doesn't love that?
That's so cool.
And then the travel. So I've been to places, like I went to Moscow with her. I've been to Nice, France, like stayed in places I would never stay at if it wasn't for these opportunities that she was doing. So yeah, like the travel was amazing. And then, I mean, we're like brother and sister, and we just have such a good time together. So it makes it a lot easier.
Amazing.
And she just won a Tony, I saw. So we did talk a little bit about this, but is there going to be a Valet season 3? We can't imagine that there wouldn't be. And I'm guessing you haven't heard anything yet that you could share with us.
They listen, when I'll know. They usually don't tell us too far in advance. I mean, I definitely hope that we get to continue this story, so we'll see. But yeah, we don't know anything yet.
Yeah. we want to see more of you and Benji. We want to see Brit and her new man. We want to see Kristen's baby. We want to see Nia's baby. Like there's so much still to see. So I imagine we will be seeing you guys for season 3.
You guys can't just leave us hanging. Like we're friends now. We need to know what's going on.
We're in the circle.
I have a feeling we'll be back, but you know, we just gotta wait for that official word. And yeah, like I love that everybody is so happy that, because like in last episode it was Benji's coming back to America party or whatever. I'm like, so many people were like, yay, can't wait to see you and Benji's dynamic. And Benji and I are so funny together because we're kind of very much the same type of person where we just like rip on each other all the time, and that's like our love language. And I really can't wait for people that watch the show to get to see that dynamic.
Well, we're so excited.
We're so excited. Where can our listeners find you? You're obviously Instagram, TikTok. Is it what's your
Instagram
username?
And Twitter at ZACK WICKHAM, ZACK. And then on TikTok it's the ZACK WICKHAM because some Gen Zer got it before I did. So
just rude.
I know. I'm so mad about it. And every time someone asks me, I'm like, and it's the ZACK WICKHAM on TikTok. I get so mad.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you, Zach. You have been such a light this season, my favorite to watch this season, and we can't wait to hear more from you. And thank you for speaking with us today.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Zach. We had a great time.
Bye, guys.